Hi, everybody. It's Chris from the Evermore podcast, live exclusively on the Slide Rule Pass YouTube channel. That's it. The end has come to an end, or the run has come to an end even. Newcastle United have been beaten today 1-0 by Chelsea. An absolute fucking sickener of a result, to be brutally honest with you. But we're going to have a little look at that in a second. Get stuck in straight away to the lineup. Obviously, there was a huge change in the lineup. We missed a few players. You can see there was no John Joe Shelby, obviously no Joe Linton, no Joe Willock either. So in came Miggy Almiron, Sean Longstaff, Javi Manquillo came in, Jamal Lascelles came in. We looked to play a bit of a back five as well. So looking at that team, it was kind of like a bit of a containment job really on Chelsea, which in all fairness, you got to say is quite clever by Eddie Howe. You know, we didn't expect to go at this game and batter Chelsea 2-3-0. And, you know, for by and large, most of the game, I think we kind of contained them really, really well. We frustrated them. Everybody was fantastic who came in. I thought, you know, Sean Longstaff in particular, he divides opinion in the fan base, but he's always got work rate. I think it's just his concentration levels that need to be, you know, there in the game and stay there or thereabouts. I thought he was fantastic today. He grafted his arse off. You know, he was well kind of disciplined. He was structured in his play, same as everybody who came in, really. Miggy Almiron grafted. He's not really got a great deal of an end product, but he worked hard today, as did Jacob Murphy. But, you know, it wasn't our day. And thanks largely to some absolutely fucking atrocious refereeing, to be brutally honest with you, and VAR, which was an absolute disgrace. I'm going to get stuck into that straight away. The first half was a bit back and forth. I thought we edged it anyway, to be fair. You know, we had a good shot with Miggy Almiron that was saved by the keeper, and we contained Chelsea really, really well. But the biggest talking point in the first half, without a shadow of a doubt, was Kai Havertz and that ridiculous challenge he put on Dan Burn. Now, there's been a few different analysis of this. I think Mika Richards and Sky Sports. I do like Mika Richards, but I'm sorry, Mika, you're talking out your arse here. He said the only reason that Kai Havertz was saved from a red card is he never looks at Burn. I don't think he has to, because you can see from this image I'm going to pull up right now, this is Kai Havertz's elbow. So when they go for that header, you can see he actually extends his elbow in a motion that is to do Dan Burn 100%. When he goes for that move, he knows exactly what he's doing. He's a very good player. He's a very crafty player. A lot of the Bundesliga players are, you know, they've played this game for a long time. They know the dirty side. They know the bad side of the game. And when you do something like that to an opposition player's eye, you know exactly what you're doing. Without a shadow of a doubt, it was premeditated. I think he knew exactly what he was doing. He smashed one in on him. And then you're looking at it thinking it's got to be a red card. You know, Coot, the referee, who was fucking atrocious. I think he would look out of his depth in a pub team league game, to be honest with you. He was absolutely shit. He looked weak as piss. He was losing the game. I looked at him, he just looked completely clueless as a referee. I don't ever want to see that bloke referee in another top flight game, to be honest with you. I thought he was weak as shit. They go to VAR, and VAR obviously quite often just, you know, doesn't do the job it's meant to do. I could count the amount of times probably on one hand I think VAR have actually got it right, and absolutely shit. They go to VAR and they say there's no intent there, and, you know, there's no dangerous play. And it's just absolutely ridiculous. I mean, thankfully, Dan Burn wasn't badly injured. You know, all the kind of head injuries and concussion substitutes that we have available at the minute. When somebody goes in with a Spanish archer like that to fuck somebody over deliberately, then VAR have got to pick that up and they've got to do something about it. So obviously, Kai Havertz gets a yellow card. Quite a funny exchange as well. As Dan Burn was on the floor and just walking past Kai Havertz, kind of subtly went, "Oh, you all right, mate?" And Dan Burn whacked his hand out to give him a tap. And then the minute he got up, I tweeted a funny one about the Buzzcocks comedian doing the Chava comedian there, which is pretty much what Dan Burn did. He come straight at him and said, "I know exactly what you try to do, you little shit." And I think he stuck one on him shortly after that, as did most of the team. You know, but Jamal Lascelles as well, credit to him. You know, he was in the referee's face. He was telling the Chelsea players, "No, fuck off. I know exactly what he's done." You know, because players in those positions know exactly what's going on. They know the dirty trick strikers do. We saw Shearer do it for years. These guys know exactly what they're doing with these elbows and these, you know, leaning into players and backing into players to get free kicks. Everybody knows what they're doing in that position. Kai Havertz, 100% meant to do Dan Burn, and he should have got a red card. More on that later, why that came back to bite us on the arse. So as the game kind of rolls on, you know, we're thinking that that's going to be the only shit decision we're going to have today. Sadly, not the case. Is, you know, the second half kicks in. Again, we come out really well. You know, we're disciplined again. We're well structured. Every time Chelsea come at us, we just get tight in shape. Eddie Howe's done a superb job of this Newcastle United team off the ball. It's clear for everybody to see. You know, nobody's even attempting to talk about Steve Bruce anymore in the media. And the friends of Steve Bruce have all gone very, very quiet, because it's clear that Eddie Howe's been meticulously drilling these players into how to work off the ball, how to be disciplined, how to contain, and then how to hit on the break, which is exactly what we look to do. So with that said, Jacob Murphy did do that. He was quite frustrated today, Jacob Murphy, as he can be. But this is the thing that he's good at. He turns and he runs at players. He gets into the box, and Chalobah just totally takes him out, completely fouls him. It's a blatant penalty. Murphy's screaming, arms are up. The Newcastle team's screaming, the fans are screaming. Chalobah looks so suspicious that he knows for a fact that's a penalty, and he's just waiting to see if he's going to get done for it. Again, VAR, absolutely fucking pointless. Does nothing about it whatsoever. So that's Newcastle United being done twice. Red card on Havertz should have been a stonewaller, and that was a stonewaller penalty. Even Stevie Wonder could see that was a fucking penalty. So I don't see the point in VAR, and that referee today were absolutely disgraceful. And I hope that Eddie Howe and Newcastle make a formal complaint about it, because it was an absolute joke. So as the game transpires, obviously we're still fancying we're going to get a chance with it. Dan Burn was immense. He had Havertz in his pocket most of the game. And Lukaku came on. He didn't get a sniff either. Target was brilliant. Shaw was brilliant. Manquillo was steady. Lascelles did okay. Longstaff was great in the midfield. We bring on Saint-Maximin, take Miggy off. He put in a shift, but again, there's no real end product. So Maximin comes on. He looks off the pace. Obviously, he's trying to find his fitness. A couple of little moments where he runs at them, he loses the ball, he puts us under pressure. But thankfully, this team's got a lot of shape there. And I think Matty Target in particular, him behind ASM, we don't have to be so worried when ASM loses the ball now, because you've got Target there, Burns close to him, Longstaff was dropping in. So we had the players in to cover up for ASM losing the ball. But, game goes on. Obviously we're still in it. We're still trying the best that we can. And then just absolute killer blow and the sickener blow, ball over the top. And to be fair, Dan Burn was immense all game. I'm not going to sit here and give Dan Burn any shit. I thought he was absolutely phenomenal. Man of the match for me by a country mile, even despite this moment. Swiftly followed by Shaw Longstaff, who was brilliant. Ball goes over the top. He just loses Kai Havertz just that one time in the game. And Kai Havertz is an immense player. The first touch is just out of this world. Brings it down back of the net before you can even know it. I think that the Sky Sports commentator liked it, a Dennis Bergkamp type goal, and it was like that kind of a finish. But it's just a sickener. I mean, he shouldn't have even been on the fucking park in the first place. Again, it goes back to this shit refereeing. The officials in this league is absolutely disgraceful. This is supposed to be the biggest league in the world, not to sound like Charlie Austin having his park life run. But nothing's getting better with this system, this VAR system. I don't understand why it's going so wrong. Is it the people who are looking at it? Do they need to have ex-players in there, ex-managers in there, somebody who can understand what a player's trying to do, like that elbow, where they know a player's going to do him? If Alan Shearer's watching that, or if Roy Keane's watching that, they know that guy's going to do him because they've done the same thing as a player. So they can offer that opinion. But it changes games. If Havertz is sent off, if that penalty's given, Newcastle United go home with the points tonight, back to the northeast. And again, the unbeaten run continues. But it wasn't to be the case. So it's a real sickener, especially when Newcastle played so well. I haven't seen what Eddie Howe's had to say about it. I'm pretty sure he'll be absolutely pissed off with that. I think as most of the fans would be. But credit to the lads again. We've been absolutely phenomenal. We've got the champions of Europe. There was a bit of banter going back and forth between the Chelsea fans and Newcastle fans. We were wishing Mike Ashley on at one point, but the fact that we've gone to Chelsea, one of the best teams in Europe, the European champions, and we've kind of limited them at one shot and ended up being the goal, one shot on target, which was the goal from a phenomenal player, a nearly 100 million quid player from Germany, one of the brightest young talents in Europe. So that's where Newcastle United have got to under Eddie Howe in such a short time. And that's absolutely amazing to see, Roll on Everton next. Obviously, Everton are in big trouble. They're right in the dogfight. I'd fancy us to get something against Everton. I think we'll start seeing some of these players coming back. I think the likes of Shelvey and Willock were rested today because of that game. And I think that game is probably more winnable for us than the Chelsea game was. We should have really got a point today. It's a real bastard. It feels like a kick in the dick that we haven't got a point. But yeah, credit the lads. I thought they're absolutely phenomenal. And just, yet again, absolutely shit show from VAR and from the referees, and the serious improvement needs to be made in that side of the game, because it cost games. It can relegate teams. It can decide titles, Champions League places, decide whether teams stay up or not. And they just need to be better. They just need to run this system better, because when you see schoolboy errors like that today, it's just a fucking disgrace, to be honest with you. But yeah, I'm not massively disappointed. I'm disappointed at the result, but again, the lads were absolutely superb. So fantastic. Rolling Everton. Let's fuck over the Scouse Mackhams, and we'll laugh at Frankie Lampard when the cascading down to the Championship. So this has been Chris Forevermore. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, just please remember to like and subscribe to the video. We're looking for 200 subscribers. I think we're on about 153. So if you're listening for the first time, thank you so much for coming on board. Would love you to click subscribe. We've got loads of extra content coming up. Obviously, the lads will be back with Evermore this week. I'm not going to be there, but the Lynchman will be hosting. So I'm sure it'll be absolutely fantastic. Until then, let's keep supporting that team. We call United, guys, and let's see what we'll do against Everton. Cheers now. Bye.